Haha, bitch. I hate this so much. Hi. Hey, Marquise. My name's Jadzia Erskine, but you can call me Jazz. So I guess I consider myself a cinematographer. I create films, a couple music videos here and there, some commercials, but my main thing is films. Yeah, so I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, like as any kid in high school, right? And my advisor was like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you enjoy doing? I was like, I just watch TV and movies, I don't know. And she's like, well, you know, you can make a career in that. And I was like, you're playing yourself, because I'm not gonna do that. So instead I studied communications in undergrad. And with that, I ended up taking the broadcasting concentration, and through that, like, we were able to create our own content, and I realized like I actually had a lot of fun doing that. So I took that to the next level and decided to go to film school, and which I did not think I was going to get into at all, because once I got there I was like, whoa, I have no idea what it takes to make a film. So that was a whole crazy learning curve that I had to go through, but it was so worth it. It was 3 years of like just traveling, creating great content, and just like, you know, finding myself and finding a field that I actually enjoy like working in. So I definitely knew I wanted to be behind the camera. Like, I've had, like, anytime I tell a family member that I did broadcasting, they were like, oh, you're gonna be a news anchor, oh my god, you're so pretty, oh my god. And I'm like, haha, no, because fuck that shit, I hate this right now. So like, yeah, there's no way I would have been able to do this on the news. But I knew that I liked just like the mechanics of it all, just like knowing that there was someone behind the camera that were making the decisions that the audience was seeing. And so I wanted to take that a step further and figure out like exactly what those decisions were that they were making. So with that, I was between like post-production, which would have been like editing, and then also cinematography. But I was like, you know what, like I have a camera, like I could shoot some stuff, like why can't I do that? And then, yeah, so I decided to go the DP route and just like learn more about the mechanics of the camera, and then also learning that like there's so much like lighting and grippage and things like that that also go into just everything visual that, you know, us as the audience have seen. So like what the nice thing is about the school is that like we were like with our like concentration. So like I worked with the cinematographers, and like through that we each had to learn like the different roles that went into creating the film. So that's like, you know, the DP obviously, like the ACs, the gaffer, the key grip, and just like all the people that fall underneath those categories. And like obviously through that, like you can't create anything without those key roles, you know, like yes, like, you know, you could do it yourself, but you know how much time and effort that's going to take. Like, so we had to learn a lot of communication and just like, you know, how to manage those roles as being like the DP being put into that like leadership role. So you definitely had to like understand what those aspects were, you know, like, okay, what does the gaffer do and how do I construct like what I want the gaffer to do, what does the key grip do, and how do I want to relay what I need the key grip to do. But yeah, like nothing can get done without working in this team, and then that expands into like the greater whole of the film, which is like the director, the ADs, you know, like the PAs and like all the other people that run the show. And so yeah, like just being able to find that communication between each of these departments, because like as a DP, I think technically we're supposed to be above the line, but I think we're considered below the line, which is like really stupid. But like you need to know how to like talk to these people and like get what you want, like talking to the producer, figuring out your budget, and like that then falls down to like what equipment you can get, and then obviously working with the director and figuring out what their vision is for their story or the writer's story or whatever, and then being able to work side by side with that person and like, you know, execute this vision. So I think who inspires me? I inspire myself, you know. I'm just, you know, who inspires me? I don't know, like seeing like, you know, these women kind of paving the way as like female DPs, like, you know, like Reed Morano, Rachel Morrison, Alberti, I forgot her first name, Marseille Alberti. Yeah, she's like one of the advisors of our the school's board, and working with her and like just talking with her and just hearing like her different stories, like she did Creed, and just having people like them kind of pave the way for women DPs, because like the film industry is just a bunch of like old white men, and it's just like really hard to kind of break in without, you know, having like a father or uncle or somebody that's already in there. So like having these women that are kind of like making steps into this industry and like then opening the door for like other women that are trying to get into the industry is definitely like super great. Okay, so my favorite project in general was this short film called Este Niña Lindo. which was this short film my friend Christian shot. No, my friend Christian directed, my friend Alex shot it. And it was like this really small crew. We were in Key West. And like, it was my first film working on, like first like location shoot type of film. And just like the attitude of the crew, the relationships that everyone had, like the spirit of like everyone just wanting to support this film, like all those vibes were just like, oh my God, is this filmmaking? I could do this. This is amazing. And then I got further down the line. I was like, oh no, not all films are like this. They're all nightmares actually. And this was just a one-off. But being a part of that project, like it gave me like a lot of hope. And like the DP being my friend Alex Brown, like she's a woman, and just seeing like how she moved and like how she worked with Christian, and like just visually how beautiful like the film came out, and like the spirit that was behind it, because like it was like loosely based off a true story of Christian's family, and how this like brother and sister came to America from Cuba on a raft. And like so they found like Christian and his dad found a raft one day like in their backyard, and they were like, whoa, like this is really cool, like I wonder like what the story behind this was, blah blah blah, and all this shit. And so like they created this story, and it was just like so beautiful. It was just so beautifully executed, and like yeah, everyone just had like their roles. I was the second AC on it, so like I just, you know, I worked to support Alex and make sure like she had everything that she needed in the situation. But yeah, that was like one of my favorite things. You know, just I want the next generation just to be like, I feel like I'm like, you know, rubbing off of like everything like Manny and like everybody else says, but like just for them to be happy in the things that they want to do. And I just want them to make decisions that are gonna make them happy down the line. Like I feel like a lot of people fall into like this idea of like, oh, I have to please other people around me, and I just want them to know that like whatever they decide to do and whatever makes them happy, that's something that they can go and do. Like I wish I listened to my advisor like earlier when she was like, oh, if you like doing movies and stuff, like then go ahead and do that. Like I could have gone to undergrad for specifically that, and who knows where I'd be right now. I mean, I probably might not have met you, which would have been really sad. But yeah, I just like want people just to believe in their dreams and just to go forth and like be able to succeed in what they find passion in. So